Hey guys, it's me Tilly, and welcome to the Abyss Dungeon Guide for Tranquil Karkosa. Before I get into the boss-specific mechanics, let me remind you about the oxygen that will happen all throughout this dungeon. This time you will need to pay a bit more attention than on the previous dungeon, but you will be able to manage it regardless. Alright, let's move on to the first boss. There are two things I want to talk about right here. The first one being the shotguns that are summoned right in front of your characters and on a bunch of different party members at the same time. They start as a cone-shaped indicator and are shrinking down to a single line, and once that is done, they will just fire, damaging and knocking back all of your teammates. You yourself are unaffected, but your teammates are in danger. The attack itself won't quite kill them, like it just is more of an annoyance. But the knockback might actually cause them to end up in a more threatening AoE, and it also just stalls and in different situations that can actually be very annoying and a big hindrance. So please try to always move out of the group like you see me do right here. Next up is the wipe mechanic of the boss. He will first cover himself with a shield that makes him immune to damage. Then at the same time there will be two mage ads spawning randomly on the edges of the room. Do make sure to check your minimap to see their locations. Killing those will get rid of the boss's shield. However, these two ads come with their own set of shields that I can only recommend you to use destruction bombs on to easily break them, since you are on a timer and want to get rid of these two as soon as you possibly can. Because once a set amount of time has passed since the boss covered himself with the shield, he will begin casting the one-shot that can only be stopped by depleting his stagger meter. So don't forget to bring your trusty friend the whirlwind grenade as well. If you are fast killing the mages, you will actually have some spare time until the boss starts casting the one shot, since as I said before, it's a fixed time until he starts. It also helps to assign positions, like for example group 1 tries to take the leftmost ad while group number 2 the right one. We also tried to time our awakening skills with this phase. Some of us used theirs on the first round, and some, like me for example, I held mine for the second phase, just to make sure we get this stagger done, since this is the toughest stagger that I have seen so far, and you really want to make sure to give it your all to get through it. Okay, on to the second boss. This one is quite chill since he doesn't really have a wipe mechanic, so I will just quickly run down the most important things you may wanna know. Help out your friends that are imprisoned, aka whenever you see one of those purple bars underneath them. Target switch to the pufferfish ad that spawns whenever it spawns. It happens a few times per fight. When you are targeted by the shotgun, try to not move around too much, because the AoE will follow you where you go, and it makes it really hard for your teammates to dodge the AoE if you keep changing its position as well. So try to leave the AoE towards the back side of it. And lastly, think about using the whirlwind grenade to stagger the boss when he grabbed one of your allies. Or don't. If you don't like the teammate that is grabbed, then you don't have to, I guess. It's not even a one shot, it's just like a bunch of damage and it will knock up all of the nearby allies. Other than that, just keep an eye out on your oxygen and dodge as many AoEs as possible. Okay, let's move on to the final boss of this dungeon. Before starting the encounter, you want to assign positions. I will have another professional graphic on screen to show off the different spots in just a second. This will be a bit confusing at first, but trust me, once you got this done, the remaining boss is literally free loot. So during the wipe mechanic at 16 and 8 bars, the boss will position himself in the center of the arena and the water starts moving towards him. It should be really easy to spot. There will be a big yellow glowing octagon surrounding the boss, and you want to assign one player to each of the sides. I can recommend you to move along the edges of this octagon because it makes moving from one position to the next nice and easy. If you are more towards the outside of the room, you may not get to your next spot in time because you are slowed throughout the entire duration of this phase. And even on the second time this mechanic occurs, if you go much further to the outside, you will take serious damage and pretty much just die. So try getting used to just hugging the edges. During this phase then, there will be big blue and yellow orbs moving from the outside of the arena towards the boss. And you want to make sure to walk into them in order to absorb them, so they do not reach the boss. But be careful to not collect the same color twice in a row, because that hurts. If too many of these orbs actually do reach the boss, then it is a wipe and you have to start over. Now the way you want to do this is by simply rotating your entire party clockwise or counterclockwise, that's up to you. During the first time this mechanic occurs, you are free to always move to the next spot after collecting an orb. However, the second time around, on 8 bars, you will have to collect 2 orbs on the third spot before you move to the fourth and final spot. So in total there's gonna be a 5th orb on the second rotation for you to pick up, but it's still only 4 spots like on the first one. Now let's run through an example. Imagine you start in this position. Then your first phase looks the following. You start in the bottom left, that's where you pick up your first orb, and then you finish on the top in the north after collecting your 4th orb. Your second phase will look very similar, just that you have to soak 2 orbs on the top left, aka your third spot. Obviously apply all of that same logic to all of the different starting positions, but I'm pretty sure you get what I'm talking about. Now that we covered this wipe mechanic, the remaining fight is just dodging as many AoEs as possible. If you happen to get hit by the elemental attacks, you will stack up some debuffs that you can easily cleanse off by moving into the small blue orbs that spawn all around the battlefield. And yes, oxygen still exists, but at this point you are a pro when it comes to that. So you now already cleared the second Phaeton Abyss dungeon. If you found this guide to be helpful, please consider dropping a like on the video, subscribing to the channel for future guides, and visit me over on Twitch if you just want to hang out. But for now, have an awesome day and I see you next time. Bye!